Well, staying with IT8 now, there are new questions about how permitless carry could impact the black community. Some say the law provides more freedom for those who legally carry, but it may be a detriment to those of color in that category. IT8's Jasmine Miner digging into that issue.
Studies have shown that black drivers are 20% more likely to be pulled over by police than white drivers. So when the permitless carry law goes into effect starting in July, experts tell me that permit can often be an extra layer of protection during traffic stops. That's exactly why the owner of this gun shop here says he's putting in every bit of effort to educate and prepare his black clients.
There's a lot of misconception and confused and trying to figure out, like, hey, can I do this or can I not do this?
Brian Baden owns this gun shop on Indy's east side. He says the new permitless carry law is a good thing, but for people of color,
you don't have a quick way to identify that someone can legally own a firearm because you don't have a permit.
To be safe, he says he encourages his clients to get a permit anyways.
Now we know it's constitutional. Let's sit here and take ownership of this right with the education that we're sitting here learning. That education is key.
Black and brown people who are lawfully carrying firearms will still be stopped and treated as being criminal and still not receive the protections that this law presumes.
A study done by the Stanford Open Policing Project says black drivers were searched during traffic stops twice as much as white drivers, even though they were less likely to be carrying illegal things in their car. Those stats concern India Tusi, a law professor at IU. She says it's possible without a permit handy, people of color could get detained longer or more often, depending on how a situation is justified.
So, for example, if an officer sees someone, right, thinks that they're in the wrong neighborhood, follows them for a while, and they, don't put on their turn signal. Well, not putting on that turn signal can be a justification for that person to be stopped and, questioned.
Ryan says he educates his clients to always notify police first when there is a gun in the car. India says she doesn't know if that's enough.
There are even times where, it's being recorded, live on social media, and the officer knows that they're being under surveillance, and it hasn't prevented that instance of police violence.
India tells me she's in a wait-and-see type of position when it comes to how she feels about the permitless carry law, and she says it's more about how it's implemented and less about the law itself, considering, she says, because of the history of communities of color bearing the brunt of criminalization. I'm Jasmine Miner for WishTV, WishTV.com, and follow us on Facebook.